affect our stats. But here we are into the pick and ban for game number 1. Gen G do have side selection. They chose blue side despite having a higher red side win rate during the regular season. Just shows how powerful first pick is at the moment. As Lee Sin going to be the first one to be banned away here. An interesting first ban. I think that Canyon's champion pool is a little bit wide to be attacked, but there is obviously a plan in mind here for Gen G.
With the Xin Zhao dropping in priority, we've seen the playmaking potential of Lee just be utilized too well by our most elite junglers, those being Canyon and Ona. But let's not forget that Peanut had a Jarvan game this split where he absolutely
both of these players have had like best and second best Jarvan performances this season. I think that Peanuts was probably number 1.
I'd say so, yeah. Although that one play that Canyon, the flank on T1, you know, that's
and
that one's hard
like,
to match.
The Cataclysm into Flash Smite was just so dumb.
There's just a lot, and that's why we're so excited.
Yeah, the guy's pretty good at the League of Legends, but Gen G have so much more breadth of form at the moment, right? I think that it is Canyon against the world and a lot of the storylines that we'd seen before the playoffs started. Since then, Bertel did manage to rise to form a little bit here, but he's now against Doran. It's a very different matchup than what we saw against Fred at Brion. So how much did we actually learn as the Caitlyn gets banned away?
It's a really important caveat because as good as Domon's first round was, I think the draft kind of edges that they showed, those are going to stay. But the form of the players individually, that was against a much weaker, this isn't a slide against Fred Brian. Again, this is just because I'd say Gen G, you might argue they're the best laners as... okay.
There's a problem that's happened in this draft thus far. Can you pick it?
Yeah. We're going to leave TF open for Showmaker and blind Jace. Yeah.
It's a choice you could make.
I don't love it.
No.
I'd say...
I don't know why we're taking so long to find the Twisted
Well,
Fate.
we need to find the second pick. You know, we know the TF's getting.
Why don't we just go for a full Damwon skin team? So Twisted Fate Leona. Or you could just pick his Nidalee right now if you'd like to. Perfect.
I'd like the Nautilus. I wouldn't mind. I think that alternatively, we've seen the Volibear prioritized. Xin Zhao rather has slowly risen in priority again. Viego has climbed the list as well. Nautilus would be my expectation here, but the skin lineup ringing true, at least for now.
I really like the Leona pickup here. Damwon Kia can then choose to throw in a Camille if they'd like to lock down what is a beautiful 1-3-1 core that Damwon Kia as a team has used for about 3 years now to very great effect. But Peanut, what is he going to bring out in the jungle? Try and augment what they already have. It looks like it is just going to be a bit of a look towards that bottom side. Could be Zyra Khan, and the Zyra's felt like a trap in our other series. Of course, Teddy not having very much success with it yesterday. Deft, the same can be said for a couple of days ago. But this is Ruler, and he is extraordinarily good at this champion. As there's Stuff Dumb Ziggs.
Xayah blind, I've not been the biggest fan of, and whereas obviously when it comes to Aphelios, the Ziggs counter pick has been rising rapidly in priority. I think a lot of the elements that make Ziggs really good into Aphelios still apply to Xayah. 100 to zeroing becomes a little bit harder because Xayah of course has the Feather Storm, but when you're Lethality Xayah and you're playing into a carry that has so much more range than you, that can basically chip you down without ever having to actually interact with you, that is a really tough ask. Obviously, I'm going to ask, as per usual, for a Malphite ban. But to be fair, the addition of Xayah makes the Malphite not as strong as if it would have been an Aphelios or a Jinx, carries that really can't deal with it. Gragas would then be my main option, although Damwon Kia do run the risk of being very high on magic damage, and that is something that they need to fix. I actually liked your Camille suggestion for that specifically, and
Just
if you add a
Camille
Jarvan as
Graves.
well.
Camille Graves, let's go.
I was going to say
we don't need
Jarvan.
CC. You've got a gold card. It's
you
fine.
You have more circles.
Yeah, I mean, circles are very important. We've spoken about this many times. Diana going to be banned. As that's some respect to Peanut, both Peanut and Canyon being our premier Diana players outside of, I guess, Dread in the first 2 weeks of the season. As Gen G, final ban here. See whether they continue their look towards the jungle or whether it is going to be a bit of respect given to Bertel on that top side. Wanting to get rid of a few of these anti-Jace options, and there's the Camille ban. We absolutely love that. Take away some of those 1-3-1 threats.
And normally, I'd say you'd go for Gragas here, good counter pick into the Jace, but then again, you're basically pigeonholing Canyon into picking specifically an AD jungler. And Graves is still up. That remains a possibility, but is Graves alone enough AD damage? That is going to be something that Damwon is going to have to deal with. I love the Nocturne ban here, by the way, not only because Damwon have pulled it out in the past, but in addition to that, this might still go to Birdle, by the way, as...
Trundle is something that's less exciting, but I guess still does some AD damage, although not very much of it. So Trundle will be locked in here for Canyon. We'll have to see what Birdle is going to bring out. Gen G, now to round out their roster, we need a support and we need a jungle. And we need it now.
I think the expectation for Canyon is that either Zinza or Viego is going to get locked in. He's happy playing Trundle into both of those. And I do actually think that the Pillar has a lot of utility. If you look at the Gen G roster, Peanut going back to his Jarvan again, this was the pick that he used to absolutely demolish Canyon in one of their previous series. And now we're just waiting. Lahens has shown some mad genius in the past, but I think that for the first series, maybe just stick with the more usual picks. Nautilus is obviously the big one that is still open. Okay, Lahens.
All right.
Thank you very much.
The Shen comes out. This is, of course, to answer whatever Twisted Fate wants to do after level 6 has been hit from the Shen. Of course, not exactly fantastic in the laning phase, but early laning phase for Ziggs, not exactly a strong point either. Really, really cool stuff. And of course, this is one of Lahens' like old school, absolute default picks, right? Like even when he was playing on Humble Life Esports after Griffin, he was still picking the Shen. This was one of his all-time favorites, as there is the Graves. It's going to go over to Birdle this time. Certainly a lot of comfort here, but I don't know whether he'll have full control of that lane. As Damwon Kia looking for 1-3-1 and trying to hold down the fort, whereas Gen G do have a lot of answers.
Compositionally, the Graves fits obviously very well, as they needed a clear source of AD threat. I think Tryndamere is a lot more all-in, and Birdle was very comfortable on the Graves. But I don't love the matchup into the Jace, although as you play the steel caps and you're able to get some lifesteal in, you'll be fine. You're not going to have the amount of threat that I think you'd ideally like. And as you said, Damwon Kia opting into what looks like a 1-3-1 comp. Teamfight is there, but when you have TF, when you have Ziggs, and when you have a Graves, then it becomes very, very appealing. But then you look at the opponent's side, and now just the Rise would be annoying, but now Shen's there as well.
Yeah.
So creates a really, really interesting set of questions as we go into this game. What is Gen G going to play through? Because they have Peanut that on this Jarvan effectively just permaganks from level 2, and then he doesn't stop. And on the other side, a team that has, I think when it comes to range, with that Ziggs, at least a decent answer into the Jace. 1-3-1 is amazing, Siege is great, but if it falls behind or Birdle gets put out of the game, then might be lacking damage.
Yeah, there are a couple of win conditions here for Damwon Kia, but it feels more narrow than what Gen G have provided for themselves. Let's see whether they can make it work as we hop onto the Rift here for game number 1. Gen G versus Damwon Kia. Gen G pulling out the Medic Shen.
Hence, you go Spellbook as well?
I mean, yeah, this is actually, I think the last 10 times he's played it, it's been Spellbook Shen. Yeah, you'd think
I'd respect it.
There are other options that could really benefit as Shen. You're absolutely right.
Well, I'm on board with it. You know, if Lahens gets fed enough now, he can also split push.
Well, you can also help secure, as they have got triple smite, potentially, on this Gen G roster. So that means we are flipping less, which I think a lot of us are pretty happy with. Because it's not a flip, right? Because they've got all of the smites.
That's what they want you to think.
3, 2, 1.
That's what they want you to think, Atlas. But it's see it before I believe it.
Yeah.
Especially
a bit of Kobe in there.
Yeah. And looking at the rune sets here, Kenyon going for the lethal tempo, of course, really nice on the Trundle.
Ooh, Scorcher.
Yeah. I don't love it. Wonder whether they're going to be able to actually utilize the priority into the wave clear that Ziggs, especially post first back, has. Doc Dom on the other end, of course, going for Gathering Storm. And that is something that's important to mention here, is that Gen G definitely has the tools to pummel them early game, right? The setup is basically really good in every lane. Either you have a lot of damage, you have a lot of CC, or you have both. So Peanut can play for effectively every lane and have a good time. Whereas Damwon Kia, is going to be a little bit more reliant on hitting 6 and then having Showmaker and Canyon make their way. And as I say that, Canyon is looking for the level 2 classic.
Yep, the level 2 against Doran as Bertle's chasing him down now. Doran makes it into the brush here as there is the chomp. Rem buff active. That's a fantastic pillar as the flash goes forward from both the top laner in the jungle and Dalmon locked down first blood at 2 minutes.
Canyon in the past has been criticized for being a little bit passive. Well,
everything you can do, I can do better.
And this time around, he doesn't want any of that. Showmaker is going to get found.
There's the flash forward. Great knock up there from Peanut as Showmaker still has flash, is going to use it as Peanut throws out his. So 2 flashes for 1 in both lanes, and we've evened it out.
No flashes on top side. Kills for 2 solo laners. Everything perfectly balanced.
Absolutely. That's a great double taunt there from Lehens. They're going for the all-in onto Docdom. In goes Ruler. But Kellen still got full health, and Docdom's been lit on fire. He's looking for it. Kellen not going to go for the flash, as Lehens looks to be the more juicy target. There's the flash forward. Shield of Daybreak, and that is a 2v2 kill from the Ziggs Leona on the bottom side. A little bit overly aggressive there from Lehens. It looked cool, but it didn't work.
Mayhem, Atlas. Mayhem.
I love it.
Kill a minute already, and we're just getting started. And yeah, I saw that play from Lehens, and man, that is clean, right?
Yeah.
Able to hit the first part of the tom, then flash for the second part. Unfortunately, they don't actually get the damage. Leona's early game is monstrously strong as... Ooh, more fighting. Yes, please.
Canyon just going to drive by as Peanut going to find him. Great little knock up there as Doran did have inside track. Chovy's going to pick up the kill as Bertle has to get out of here. He's in so much trouble.
That's no flash.
Yeah. Does he have quick draw in time is the question. Does it matter is the answer. And Doran is going to pick up the kill. Showmaker just chilling in this mid lane. Only level 4. Couldn't actually come to help.
And both teams are not willing to give each other any quarter. You go for Scuttle, you die. You try playing bot lane, you die. And looking now that the dust has somewhat settled, Lehens also crucially taken away that the Scuttle there is... This play, or the initial setup from Lehens is beautiful, but crucially, Docdom doesn't actually get taken down, and because it's so close to the turret, he can just kite back. Lehens can't follow, get a couple of crucial final autos in, and take him down. And although the Ziggs burst, obviously, this early in the game is not going to be relevant at all. If he can pummel you over time, you're going to be still doing a lot of damage. Nice satchel as well as this. Bertle gets baited in, of course, should have just let his teammate die. Showmaker identifying a little bit earlier that, unfortunately, that's going to be the end of Canyon. And that is that early flash being invested, immediately getting punished. And now dust has settled, relatively even, because while there was a great roam from Chovy, it also meant that there was the ability for Showmaker to get even again on CS. And overall, we do see that because of that bot side play, Docdom has a slight lead. So,
yeah,
wonderful start here, Atlas.
Absolutely fantastic. Gen G have pulled ahead by just a little bit as we're having a look at Canyon's Trundle win rate. 76.2% is pretty good, as it turns out, on this champion. Of course, has done well into Jarvan in the past, as a bit of vision does go over. Canyon's position has been found, as Peanut as well was on a ward. Got over that wall and is going to spot that one out. Now looking for a potential avenue in this mid lane, but it's not going to happen. Another thing we need to talk about is just how good Shen is into Twisted Fate. The Spirit's Refuge, of course, being able to stop those gold cards in their tracks. Also a little bit going to stop the passive of the Ziggs as well. As, yep, last time was over a year ago here, and of course it was Lehens.
You know, I was expecting Lehens to hold off a little bit on the crazy picks until we got further.
No. This is not even crazy. We've seen this in other you know, it's great. I mean,
what I'm
saying
saying
that he made in the early game, that was crazy.
Starting with this land, you better end up playing elite support.
That is true. I mean, I'm always all for the elite support. I need a throwback to his early solo queue as Dom here just getting control.
Spirit Refuge also so good into the Leona, not allowing the...
Yeah, true. The Shield of Daybreak.
Exactly. Not going to be able to actually get that off. And also into Canyon.
And the Chomp.
Yes.
What the heck? It's like value everywhere.
It is. It's amazing. Yeah. It's really a incredibly smart pick that has a insane amount of value. Oh, trap being set. Chovy knows.
Yeah.
It's not a trap when you know what's happening, you know?
Yep, Lahan's also coming on over here. Only level 5, doesn't have the Stand United just yet. That's fine. Canyon just going to eat some shellfish and go about his business. Kellen clearing out some vision here, as the first Drake is going to be an ocean. We all know what I want. We'll see whether it does actually happen, as this is still so incredibly even. Of course, Gen G probably pretty happy for this game to continue to just play out at a pretty even pace. Feel like their composition is pretty good around sieges and things like that, but if Damwon Kia get to play the game as they want to, it becomes different.
It's interesting, because this is not I don't think at least, a very clear-cut example of one team's skills better than the other. There's a lot of scaling elements on both sides. We've seen...
Yeah, it's the win condition composition.
Exactly.
Right?
We've seen Birdle hard carry on late-game Grace once he gets free items, right? And he needs to, because again, he's the sole damage source in terms of AD in this composition. Same for Docdom. On 6, hits a certain point. It's nice that Chovy's tanky, but that's not going to help you when Docdom is sitting on a Leandris and a Death Cap and a bunch of other juicy items, right? So, and then on the flip side, is Damwon actually going to win 5v5s? Because I do think that the Gen G comp overall in 5v5 has a lot more power. But you can't really split push either, because you're playing into Rise, you're playing into Shen, that with his Stand United make it a lot harder.
Yeah, also Flash from Kellen goes absolutely wide here on the bottom side. He does have the Eclipse, so he's not going to take too much damage back, but that was a bit of an error, one could say. First Herald looking to go over to Gen G here, as Peanut and Chovy are in the area. That's going to be traded for the Drake that was picked up earlier. All things pretty equal right now when it comes to what's being given on each side of the map. Bit of control on the bottom side, though, and some respite for the Damwon Kia bottom lane, but that is about it. Top side of the map, very, very even. CS in favor of Chovy. Big surprise, gigantic shock.
It's gonna get even. Of course he does. As a can I have some chickens, please, Chovy? Chovy, okay. I'm already ahead. I'll allow it. For this one time.
He is benevolent sometimes. As Peanut will come over. Canyon doesn't actually see him.
Oh!
So sneaky, but Peanut is going to be spotted out here. Okay, Canyon gets word. Doesn't want to fight the Jarvan right now. Level advantage here.
Could happen. I don't know if they can actually zone him off with the threat of TF being there, but look at Lance.
Yeah.
You know he's looking.
He's looking for it. Has his eye on the prize. Birdle underneath this turret. Shock Blast going to go wide. Good quick draw from Birdle. Chovy back to this mid lane. Showmaker still here as well. Haven't seen the Destiny yet. Level 8 already for the Twisted Fate. Very interested to see whether Showmaker is going to be able to find success with that first one, because it's so pivotal, especially when this game is sitting on a nice edge right now.
And this ties into the trend that we established earlier. Ruler, for the longest time, was the main carry, right? On Gen G, he would get all the resources, he would get all the intention, but ever since this split, we've seen him pick out different champions, right? We've seen the Ziggs. Now, obviously, they put a desire priority on him really, really high, because not only is it a pick that obviously he's exceptional at, because, you know, has his own skin in the champion, which helps a lot.
Pretty good.
But in addition to that, it also is a pick that, especially when the Featherstorm and the Summoners are up, can be very hard to punish, and you don't actually need to invest the resources, and we've seen Lahan's not even using his ultimate, but just in his movement around the map, will look for plays on mid. Will look together with Peanut to maybe find someone in the bot side river and not spend a lot of time. And that is the one reason why, even with the kill being up, Damwon Kia is still relatively even in gold. And that's because Docdom is having a great time. Right? He's just sitting there, he's farming, gets closer and closer to his first item, but you see again the oppressive laning in the rest of the lanes that is available for Gen G.
Yeah, it's working out. The other thing that, oh man, there are so many layers. It's just really this really is an onion of a game to start this one off, because Ziggs is kind of late game win condition by himself. Like if Ziggs gets out of control, it becomes extraordinarily scary. And Docdom right now just having a free lane. He's up in farm, things like this, having a really good time as Showmaker and Chovy fighting over chickens here. But nothing really coming from it just yet. Ooh. Doran.
They don't have a lot of vision.
Yeah, he's wandering down towards this river. Shock Blast is not going to find Kellen or Canyon. Oh, okay, so there is a control ward in that brush. We'll see whether they go and actually check that one out, as there are in fact 2 control wards there towards that
Oh, they
side.
might
They
meet
are
one
protecting
another.
him a lot.
There's Peanut, but he has Flag and Drag, so
Brilliant
fine.
pillar though. Still, yes, traded for a flag and drag, so...
Is that a trade?
Yeah.
You call it a trade?
Well, it's 1 skill for 2.
True.
There you go. But no, not really.
Oh.
Still, it was a decent pillar. If it was any other champion, maybe it would have been actually good. As Bertle comes over and finds Peanut, smoke screen goes down. Couple of plates here on the table. As, of course, it's an extended roam from Kellen.
Yeah.
Docdom is paying the price for it here on the bottom side.
Yeah, wouldn't mind if he just used his ultimate to deny the plates. Might not even have to, has already finished his Leandry, so as you can see,
Yep.
it's going to be completely fine now. And this is, of course, the cool thing about the Shen support, simultaneously pressuring in lane, but also knowing that Damwon Kia, they were looking for a play on top side. They were trying, can we maybe pick off Doran? Can Showmaker make a play with the Destiny Gate? Knowing that if you don't execute it cleanly, Lahence's shield comes in and absolutely ruins your day. As Gold Leaf for Gen G going to be extended here.
Yeah, 2 versus 1 here on the top side as well, as Shelly is just going to park her skull into this top outer turret. A lot of money going over to Doran, and that is absolutely massive. Gen G want this Jace to be as powerful in the mid game as possible, and that is absolutely going to help out. You can see there's no difference in farm, but all of that plate gold is going to be huge. As Lehen, we'll pretend we didn't see that. He just wanted to hide for a second. He was hiding, getting around the wall.
Everyone has been juked by Scuttle.
Yep, that is.
Even if Scuttle doesn't actually juke.
Well, Bertle does have his shield bow now. He's chasing down Doran, doing a fair bit of damage here. Flashes forward, the ulti doesn't work, and he gets the Stand United out of Lahen's. Don't even think that was lethal, but is able to at least get the ultimate for his flash. Just don't know whether it was worth it.
Ooh, that's a tough question, because while obviously when it comes to just straight up the cooldowns, it's going to be a favorable trade for Gen G. This might be just what Damwon Kia needed to get themselves a second Drake. And I do think that the more I think about it, like come mid-game, Gen G is still going to reign supreme. We have Doran that's going to hit people with Shock Blast. Ruler, once he hits 2-item spike, is going to be insanely strong. But if we pass the 35-40 minute mark, that's where, again, I think it shifts back to Damwon, because that's what the value of Showmaker's perfect vision is going to come into play. And
yeah,
when Docdom hitting a single Q on the backline means that the backline can't fight anymore. But no, not even going to be enough. I thought that Damwon might have an opportunity, but no.
Cute little Mega Inferno Bomb there, as it is going to be a Mountain Soul this game. So a little bit of extra terrain to worry about. Kind of benefits Trundle in some ways, I would say.
Ziggs is
Ziggs
very
as
happy.
well, yeah. More corridors, but the same can be said for, you know, champions like Jarvan, who can use his Cataclysm very effectively to lock people down. Ruler, with the Featherstorm being easier to aim in corridors like that. So a very interesting rift for our first soul of the series. A lot of damage here onto Kellen, though, as Lahen's going to get booped back. Ruler now just chasing down Kellen. The sidestep is great, though. Former teammate, maybe in his brain, as Realm Warp to come down. Chovy says goodbye, Kellen, but is going to at least get his Zenith Blade off, and Docdom may be overextended. He's going to flash forward, does not find the Satchel Charge onto Lahen's. And Gen G, beautiful rotation to the bottom lane.
And Gen G is playing this comp out beautifully, so aggressive, always on point, reading the plays from Damwon Kia, but then simultaneously setting up their own. Doran's like, yeah, I invest flash, who cares?
Yeah.
We get the bot side dive off, we're getting fed, and honestly, Gen G, with this first turret bot in the bot side, gonna be looking like they should be able to snowball from here on out. It's also a Mountain Drake, and as I mentioned previously, Damwon Kia might run into damage issues if Gen G itemizes well into a team that has a very one-sided profile, and Mountain Drake's just gonna make that worse.
Yep, Kellen stepped a little bit far forward. It's going to be Shirley going over to Damwon Kia. I don't think Peanut is going to get in there. You can see 0 plates for Damwon. It's absolutely not what you want. But 800 gold going over to Gen G. High value in this early game. And that's why the gold lead has ballooned to over 3,000.
Oh, Chovy going for Frozen Heart second. Love to see it.
Yeah. Although that is mainly against Bertle. But still,
Well, it's really good against Kane as well, right?
Yeah,
Even
true.
no, just a glance.
Decent Captain Jack, and the Mega Inferno Bomb is going to go wide.
Because with the state of the game as it is now, you are looking at a lot of items that are going to need to be finished for you. And the key thing here is Chovy is up 20 CS in farm, 26, but we've seen that before.
Yeah.
But he's also had a million times more impact than Showmaker's TF, a pick that has been so crucial, and I do think it's due to Gen G's excellent play around the map, where they're continuously tracking where every one of Kia is. Plays from Kellen, like the one on top side, either you go for a play, you get punished, because Rise will roam up, and the Stand United will be used, or you don't punish. And the key issue here is Kellen just standing a little bit too far forward, then being forced to use his summoners and his ultimate and his cooldown just to try and kind of leverage that situation. And that's what opens up this play. If Kellen and Doctor are full health, this dive can't happen because, as you can see, turret, there's no way, right? So it is, again, the power of Ruler and Lahens forcing out, or I guess you can say specifically Ruler, but, you know, giving a bit of credit to both, of forcing out those cooldowns. And then the big thing here is that Chovy also responds, because what has been the main criticism of Chovy is that he just...
Yeah, the main criticism of Chovy has been exactly what Showmaker's done this game, which is not press his R button, not get around this map, just get trapped in that mid lane trying to catch up. And feels like a bit of a sunk cost fallacy, and that is what Chovy has often fallen into. Absolutely not this game.
It's a really cool flip, but I got to give credit to Gen G, because I don't think that this is Dom Key. I'm not trying to look for those plays. I just don't think that they get a lot of opportunity. I think that Gen G at any point has been aware of what Domon has been doing. The Shen has been a really great behind-the-scene hidden ninja presence that's making sure that actually making a play, you better be ready to commit. And now we are looking at a game where still win conditions for Domon. It's not fully over. The gold lead, while big, is not insurmountable. They skill incredibly well, especially if Docdom can get to a Void Staff. And then, crucially, that death cap. But are you going to get that without giving up inhibitors?
I think giving up these Drakes as well, this Mountain Soul going to be absolutely huge. I think Damwon would have liked anything other than the Mountain.
Agreed. Oh, Birdle. Oh no.
Yeah, he does have Flash. Great taunt to come through from Lahens, though, as he does get a bunch of shield. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. A lot of damage onto Doran here. And it is going to be Birdle getting out. Doesn't have his Flash anymore, though, as Shirley pops down in the mid lane, and they will be able to grab their first turret here. Great news for Damwon as Peanut looking for an opportunity. Showmaker makes his way over. Gold card locked, lands onto Peanut. Wildcards come through. Shirley charges again.
Stand United available. Doran can also teleport. Gen G, I think they can contest. Don't think that Domon can actually do this, but they're going to try regardless, because as you're saying, given over Mountain, I don't think they can.
Well, oh no, Ruler caught out of position. Solar Flare comes down. Can they layer the CC, though? As this Featherstorm is going to come through. Flash comes out as well. There's a lot of buttons pressed by Ruler. Damwon here as well, lacking the Solar Flare.
Dr. SCP.
Yeah. Can they fight with Ruler this low and without his ultimate as well, though, is the question, as Showmaker... Gold card comes through, wild cards out as well. Blocks the blue. Okay. Gen G started up the Drake. Docdom getting into position, does almost have that Mega Inferno Bomb available. Damwon here wanting to wait this one out. Kellen so incredibly low. The Showmaker stunning up Chovy, who was just looking for him towards the side, as Canyon's going to miss the Drake, and that is actually going to go to the Smite of Lahens. We mentioned this before. They have access to 3 of these buttons.
It's actually not a flip. I'm loving it.
That's what we were talking about. Oh, buttons. So I got excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be a 50-50. Canyon's in the pit. Nope.
Nope. Not even Canyon can get those, Atlas.
No, he does not have 2 smites.
Well, Showmaker actually could have a smite as well.
No, he had fire, unfortunately, yeah. So, didn't bring the extra.
I mean, even if he did, maybe Chovy then also swaps to smite. And it's still 3 against 2.
Exactly.
The reason why this is really big is because one of the outs in Damwon for this game is Birdle and Docdom reaching a late game point where they effectively should be able to 2-tap everyone. But through a Mountain Shield, that's going to be way harder. And the trend continues here. Damwon Kia, they're in the okay place at the right time, but it's getting outplayed by Gen G across the board.
Well, there's a flash in. Doran looking for Birdle here as collateral damage comes down. Misses the shock blast, but to the skies is going to do it. And to the death chamber goes Birdle.
Well, and here you see the benefit. Doran already hitting the 2-item power spike. Has been able to pick up a lot more plates with the rest of his team, and because of that, and his cheaper items, just when that Manamune finishes, right, like the amount of damage he's able to pump out rather, is ludicrously high. And normally, maybe Showmaker could make a play, but they knew what Showmaker was, so not going to have a punish potential whatsoever. And overall, unfortunate scenario where Damonkia is just falling further and further behind, and Gen G, they are looking so good in this first series.
This is a real step up, it feels like, from Gen G. Yes, I mean, we were talking about things like the Shen that we haven't seen in over a year here in the LCK at least, but the mastery at which they're playing around it, right? The extra added layers of win condition that they do have available to themselves is like,
can't do anything.
Yeah, that's double smite.
1400 health, yeah. It's unsmiteable. You can see the confidence here from Doran as well, right? As he like flashes just to set the play up.
Yeah.
Gets in range.
Misses the empowered shock blast, but still wins the trade, and just shows how far ahead he is. And also just understands that he can afford to flash in there. He knows that he can get that kill.
And that's the key thing. And if Showmaker had been a more oppressive presence in this game, then who knows? Maybe you could make a play there. But then, again, yeah, then Showmaker ults. What do you think Lahens is going to do?
Yeah.
He joins immediately, and that is really something that was mentioned, right? Lahens' champion pool. That is actually a problem. We're already seeing it here in the first game, and it's cool to see the things that the coaches are also feeling a little bit scared about to actually come into fruition here.
No, it's really working fantastically well for Gen G so far. Also, the fact that you know, Score already said that the jungle matchup is going to be very important. Level 2 ganks coming through from both junglers, both of them being successful. But I feel like Peanut has leveraged a lot more, that Gen G as a team has created so much more pressure in this early game to play around, and it really has neutered this Twisted Fate pick.
I think Canyon also just not able to do a lot because every lane was perma-shoved in.
Yeah, right.
So you're playing a jungler that, well, is good setup, has decent damage, can 1v1 very well, especially with the lethal tempo. You're also in a situation where the enemy knows where you are at all times. You have to deal with effectively 2 globals, and all your lanes are permanently under their turret. So you have very little control, very little vision. The few plays that they did try to go for were immediately responded to by Gen G. And looking at the state right now, Showmaker might get picked off here.
Yep, Cataclysm going to be available. Immediately the flash comes out as Everfrost comes down as well. Great gold card as Damonkia moved over to the Baron immediately. Leandri 6 does a lot of Baron damage. And Gen G invested a lot to try and get Showmaker. Yes, they get his flash, but Damon, do they have enough damage to actually take this down? Everyone is so incredibly far away. I think this is just gone.
It's just free. They invested too heavily on bot side.
Oh my god, how many head is that? It's like 16. All right.
And he lives as well.
And it's after Damonkia reacted with like almost nothing to a lot of other plays this game. And then they just take the big purple worm here at 24 minutes.
Key thing here, though, I think the Baron pickup is big for gold and for item finishes, but right now, Damonkia has one thing on their mind. It's getting that Drake. More resistances are really bad news. If Gen G is able to get it, they're fighting for prio here.
And we actually get there as Ruler. Gonna have to Featherstorm early once again. We saw that did not deter Gen G last time around, but that is a lot of damage. Fertile avoiding a lot of it there with the collateral, as they are going to move on back. I didn't say collateral damage because I felt like I said damage too many times in that last fight. The intensity stays up, those shock blast lands onto Canyon, getting him out of the fight. Absolutely fantastic. These bouncing bombs needing to be respected here. The Eclipse now goes on cooldown, and Gen G winning this poke battle. Octarm as well, taking a lot of damage here. Bertle fighting against Chovy. He is so incredibly tanky, and that is the one person you do not want to fight Bertle. And that is going to be second Mountain going over to Gen G.
And this is Gen G actually using their huge found lead. They can't contest prio, even with a Baron buff.
Yeah.
Like, they have the Baron minions, and they're still not able to make it through because Chovy is a brick wall.
Yeah, he can tank turrets for like 16 years.
He doesn't care at all. And then you also see the fact that Doran is this fed. Single Shock Blast on Doctom, Shock Blast on Canyon, and they can't move up. But the one thing this Baron has done, of course, is give a fighting chance to Damonkia, because the time that this buys, hopefully, maybe might be enough. I'm pretty sure, based on that noise, that Chovy had smite there as well.
Yes.
As he
his,
picks it up.
His teleport, and that is one way to do it. Peanut gonna have to flag drag to get out of the way of that pillar as well. Fair bit of damage onto Bertle, but immediately he does heal it back up. Bloodthirster is now online and has that Zeal as well. Kellen and Lahens just fighting one another here. See whether the Spirit's Refuge is going to come down. Great little taunt there to get himself out of the way. As Showmaker splitting in this mid lane, and with a Baron, this composition's really scary.
That's the key thing. Wonder what Dukdom was going to go next. Thought he was going to go Death Cap, but maybe he wants to go in a different direction as they...
Oh, Minefield's good. Solar Flare doesn't quite get the stuns, but the Mega Inferno Bomb lands onto Lehens. It's going to be very hard for him to utilize that ultimate because he's going to be free food when he gets in there. Ruler does have Featherstorm Cleanse and Flash, so he's very scary. But as you can see, it's hard to get up to these minions to take him down.
And as you pointed out, Atlas, if this comp can siege, it does so expertly. You have TF in the side lane, you have a Ziggs that can just throw bombs, bombs, bombs. And that means that the gold lead that was there, now effectively gone. Gen G, I think, still in a good position. Still, if they can get the Mountain Drake, they should have a definitive grip on this game. But the crucial thing is that, as I mentioned previously, if Damwon gets to the late game, that's when the equation might change. That's when Birdle is going to be effectively a full crit carry. Pretty sure he's going to go either Lord Dominic's, which I would prefer, or Infinity Edge. After one another coming up next. And when Dukdom gets Gathering Storm procs, gets his Rabadons, I don't even know if Mountain Soul is going to be enough to save you.
Well, Canyon is going to find Lehens here. Showmaker. Straight into a Spirit's Refuge. Just shows the power of good old Lehens on this Shen. Face checking with impunity. Into this composition especially. Oh dear, but Doran's going to get caught out of position. Kellen, can he get in there? Just immediately flashes. The Solar Flare comes down as well. Showmaker not going to waste any time here. Kellen might get taken down, but no. They have enough damage in the end. Chovy's on the top side of the map, though. They might trade that kill for an inner turret, which, you do the math, Gen G going to be trading up on that one.
I'm loving this game, Atlas. This is exactly the intensity that we are looking for. Gen G gets struck. Look at that ultimate from Dukdom.
Yeah, it's the ult, and then immediately the teleport towards this bottom side is Damwon Kia. They want an inner turret as well. As Kellen's overlord, that is a fantastic cataclysm to come through to try and lock him down. They get some flashes, but immediately the trade back. The Jarvan is going to be taken down, and now inner turret under siege. No more Baron, like you were talking about. That one's going to be up in a minute and a half. 2 kills, though, for Damwon Kia. They have the gold lead now.
Got to back here, Damwon. Got to set up. And this is a key juncture that's coming up for Damwon, because there's 2 objectives. And they can't give Gen G either.
Yeah.
Because you can't give them Baron.
Are you saying this is the power of Soul Point?
It is the power of Soul Point, Atlas. And I think for one of the first times, actually, it's Damwon that sets up a play and makes it work. Spirits, or rather, Stand United comes in very early. With the teleport, it is still a man advantage for Damwon Kia. Showmaker crucially joining to make sure that Kellen doesn't get 100-0'd. And then this might be a mistake that comes back to kind of haunt, as the interruption from Dukdom on the Flag and Drag there is the big thing. There's a ton of interesting micro stuff that we haven't really had the time to talk about yet either, because there's been so much action. Because what we've also seen is Birdle consistently trying to hit end of the lines combined with Canyon's Pillar, because it procs off terrain. And as I say, Damwon, you're not going to give up the Drake, right? They are all heading towards the top side of the map.
Yep.
Or at least Kellen and Birdle are. And in 30 seconds, Mountain Soul is a huge, huge boon to the Gen G comp.
Okay, we've got a bit of a wraparound here as Birdle's moving in. Peanut, unbeknownst to him, is the location of anyone. I mean, a lot of the vision isn't where Damwon actually is trying to get any work done. In this game, Birdle moves on over. Flag is going to spot him out. As 5 seconds until this Drake. Ruler is in position to try and lock it down. Damwon, if they want to deny this, they have to get in there immediately. But Gen G not going to let them. They're just going to move back towards this Baron, and you can see by Showmaker's build, he doesn't want a team fight at all. He needs avoid stuff if he wants to do that. No, he wants more damage to structures. They're going to try and avoid fights.
Someone has to turn, because right now Ruler isn't in the fight yet.
Well, they've got a smite on Showmaker. Can they actually get this one to work? And it is going to be Showmaker that locks it down. Double spellbook smites for the last couple of objectives. And it's going to be the lockdown onto Lehens as well.
They have a wave.
Second Baron for Damwon. Canyon taking a lot of damage there, and inner turret now under fire. Peanut, you can see, just set up as a bodyguard. But the gold card is going to connect. He takes no damage because of a lot of magic resist. But still.
They're corralling them.
Yeah. Canyon, oh dear, he has to go back.
Well, do they? I'm not sure. I thought they could go for a play on top side, try and push with the Baron buff, but instead, Gen G outsmarting Damwon. Yeah, they lose the Baron, but that's only 2 minutes. Whereas for Damwon, you're going to be looking at the Mountain Soul for the rest of the game.
Yep, and it's going to be a lot of avoiding fights, I think, for Damwon Kia from this point onward. Let's have a look at this one more time. It was a great Spellbook smite there from Showmaker to lock that one down, but I think the biggest highlight play was Ruler killing the dragon.
It was. It was, and with that, oh yeah, Damwon have a gold lead, but the gold lead doesn't mean too much if you can't actually get through your enemy health boss. Loving that Black Cleaver from Canyon, actually attempting to get through the amount of resistances that are available on the enemy team, but really only reducing the armor for Birdle, right? And Birdle looking to go Infinity Edge next, so not going to have Lord Dominic's until his final item. And the one upside here is that there's only... Oh, I was going to say only 2, but there's 3 people building resistances, so it's just pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it's
just not good.
It's not good.
Look at Doran's health!
Yeah, Doran actually just takes no damage, but Solar Flare is going to get the flash out. Mega Inferno Bomb sidestep. Very nice DDR here from Doran. On the bottom side, this inner turret, they really want to get it as Canyon takes matters into his own hands. Going to be able to lock that one down.
Gen G just need to hold on.
Yeah.
Crucially.
Looking for some autos here. Does have that rapid fire cannon, so able to get that little bit of extra range. Try and get damage here. Yeah, moving back. You can see already, I mean, this Mountain Soul's already doing so much work.
It is. You can see the lack of damage that Dogdom is going to be doing. Went for a Zonias as well, which, well, good into Canyon, good into Ruler specifically.
Ooh, Lahen's taking a lot of damage here, so at least he is somewhat squishy.
That Death Gap, that's what we're going to be looking towards.
Yeah.
Dogdom hitting Death Gap and then hitting
he
level.
has Teleport as well, so he can come back immediately after getting a really cool hat.
Is he going to be able to afford it? I don't know if he can. He's just sitting on 1 rod. Doesn't look like it.
Not quite there yet. Okay, so I tell a lie. Not quite there yet, but...
Well, he has a cool hat, but it's already on his head.
Yeah, true. True. Chovy going to push forward, and Gen G staving them off really beautifully right now. Teleport to get back to this turret, as Showmaker just wants to avoid his structures all falling down. This one was pretty low after Chovy did keep that wave shoved in, so he doesn't miss out on too much of that gold. As you can see, it's still a 40 CS lead for Chovy, but CS is not really a thing that we really need to worry about right now. Both of our mid laners, with only 1 item left to complete, very close to doing so. Chovy extremely tanky. And Showmaker does a lot of damage to structures. He absolutely does that.
It's so hard with the amount of resistances from Gen G, bolstered again by that free Mountain Drake Mountain Soul. Because looking at Damwon Kia, Birdle, well, he's got Infinity Edge now. It's going to help a little, but still, I think you need Lord Dominic's. Would have much rather seen that rather than the rapid fire cannon.
That is if they want to do damage to champions. If they want to do damage to structures.
Just never, never hit a
yeah.
I like it, yeah. Just
I mean,
never
look
fight.
at Showmaker's build. He'd have a Void Staff if he intended on killing anyone, but he doesn't. He just builds as much AP as possible so that he can 2-shot the Nexus, if given an opportunity to do so. I don't know whether it's a good idea. However, I do understand why you would make the choice. If it's a good idea, no idea. We'll see whether it does work, though, as this game continues. Gen G, I think, do have control of team fighting if they can get it on their terms.
Agreed.
But Damwon Kia, if they can open the map, stretch Gen G apart, it might be an opportunity.
Remember the previous juncture?
Yeah.
Where we had a situation where there was one objective for one and then another. We're back there, but now it's Elder. Elder and Baron.
Okay.
So it's worse. Even more fun. What we haven't actually seen what can happen is that Gen G and Damwon Kia both have 2 people with smite. So theoretically, you can contest.
We could quadra smite.
Yes.
There's couple smite.
So this is my point. If someone goes for an objective but doesn't respect one of the spell books, you can actually pick off if they're not ready for it, right? Like the situation that we had with Ruler earlier. Imagine Showmaker just says hello, walks in and smites it away.
Man. Well, congratulations! You got the Mountain Shield.
Nice.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's not great.
Birdle at least has a gold lead. We mentioned that he is definitely part of their win condition in the split push. Finally, has managed to get to a gold advantage for himself. A lot of that to do with side lane minions. It's actually very surprising that he has the biggest gold lead in the game.
I'm surprised as well. But again, I think the gold could have been utilized better. You're playing into Frozen Heart. It's going to slow down your attack speed, right? That there's so many resistance on the team. But look at that. There's the hat.
Yeah.
Just in time.
That's 2 cool hats here for Damwon Kia. As let's see where they're going to be prioritizing. This is so interesting. So many of the decisions being made this game on a knife's edge. Hard to decide what is actually the best one to make. But Elder, very difficult thing to give up.
Can't do it.
Yeah, and so
Can't
Damwon
do
are
it.
going to fight for it. It's taking a lot of damage here as in goes Bertle looking for Chovy. Chovy takes about 0 damage and continues to take 0 damage. Solar Flare goes absolutely nowhere as Canyon wanting to flash into the back of this pit. Kellen has picked up the aggro. It's down very, very low, and Gen.G have stopped it completely. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. That is a lot of value, and it's going to be secured by Bertle. He didn't even have Spellbook. What the heck is this? And they now get themselves the huge dragon, Chovy. Unfortunately, down very, very low. He wants to try and get out with the Realm Warp, and he's going to get on top of Showmaker, but he's got a Zonya's Hourglass, but Ruler doesn't actually care. Brings back the feathers, locks down that kill. Bertle has the Wrath of the Dragon, though, and now Chovy finds himself all alone, and Canyon is now chasing after him. This, ladies and gentlemen, could just be the end of the game, as Chovy is going to get knocked up by the pillar. The Dragon needs to get the work done, but Chovy gets that huge shield. Is the exhaust going to be enough is kind of the question.
Run at him, Tron, the run!
Yeah, didn't quite have the damage. However,
Elder
it
Flip.
does not matter. The Elder Flip comes in the end, and Damwon Kia should win game 1.
Elder Flip to get the game. Why not? That's the way to start of a best of 5.
Oh, what? That
How
was
did
just
Bertle
so
get it?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't even have a spellbook. He had no right to get it. However, the game isn't over just yet. Doctor does a lot of damage to the Nexus.
Wait.
But they still need to
Wait.
go. He goes golden. Does he have enough? The passive, is it going to be there? Yes, it is! He locks it down with about